This is a Saturday morning in March for reference around 8 a.m. There literally is like no one out on the river at this hour, so if you want to get out, just have it to yourself. Also, great for like photos and things like that if you don't want a lot of people in them. A few things learned after spending a few days in Savannah. The trolleys are fun and a good way to see all the squares because some of them are pretty far um, away from each other, so kind of difficult to walk to them all. But after talking to a local at a bar, one thing we did not realize is there is a free trolley service that stops at a lot of the same stops. They're enclosed, and you can use them, to get around if you don't want to pay for the actual trolley service with the open sides, and a little better for just getting around versus sightseeing. And one additional observation on the trolleys is if you choose to go on one of the paid ones, we did the green trolley, and it seems like the white one, there are way more of them, and they come way more often. So, if having to do it over again, I think it'd be more convenient to go with the one with the white sides. Forsyth Park is a must do. I think it was probably my favorite day that we spent there was going to Forsyth. And you can use those free transportation to get there if you're just trying to go there. Also, there's a restaurant in the park itself that has live music a lot of the time, some outdoor seating. Food is good, drinks are good. It's a very nice afternoon to just sit there and hang out at that bar slash restaurant. Um, Very cool place to visit. The Riverwalk is neat, but a little touristy. Um, but worth going and seeing. It's not that long, so you can easily walk the whole strip. And if you do, it's definitely worth checking out the inside of the JW Marriott at one end of it. I think it's the north side. Um, the interior of that place is very cool. It's kind of like a museum in itself with all kinds of natural history stuff and some art or lots of art exhibits, and completely free to just walk in and look around. And they have a couple nice restaurants in there too. But yeah, definitely worth checking out the inside of that if you're walking along the river. We also did one evening a haunted tour, the one in the hearse that's open in the top. That was a really neat experience. Definitely recommend that. It was a lot of fun. It's about an hour and a half. You stop off at a bar in between, and it's at worst it's a nice just a nice cruise around, get to see stuff. But it was very entertaining. Got some history and good time. There are lots and lots of good restaurants around to eat at and drink at. The larger named ones, more popular ones, have reservations that go like way, way in advance, like months. So if you're able to do that, that's great. But if you don't know this and already are within like a few weeks of going, you'll probably find the reservations are all booked up. This being said, we went to at least a pink house, and you can't get in the main dining area without the reservation. But the bars are still available, so we were able to just walk up the night of and get seated at the bar within 45 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. And you still have access to the full menu. Still, cool place to go. So some of the nice restaurants like that might want to check out, just walking up and seeing if you can get in. Um, if you're there on a tighter time frame between the river district and the historic area, I think the historic area is way more interesting and way more beautiful just to walk around. The restaurants are better, more interesting things to see, more museums, more restaurants, like I said, more bars. Got the city market, and just all kinds of stuff to see. So if I were to focus on one area, that is the better area to go see stuff, and more of the picturesque, like Savannah stuff that you see, in my opinion. If you want to see the exterior of the JW Marriott, it's going to be towards the end of this video. It's towards the end of the walk from the direction I was going. Also, I have some interior videos showing what it looks like inside, and I'll post those up around the same time as this video. So if you check my channel out, you'll see that too if you were curious about what it looks like. As you can see, I brought my dog on this trip with me. A lot of places around are dog friendly, and we stayed at the Homewood Suites on the riverfront, and they're dog friendly. It was a good experience. Newer hotel, nice rooftop with pool and bar, and prices were high but in line with other hotels in the area. So if you're looking for somewhere to bring your dog, I had a good experience there. One thing we kind of stupidly didn't realize about Savannah is the St. Patrick's Day party celebration is massive and like on par with Mardi Gras. So we booked the week before, not realizing that A, it was St. Patrick's Day the next week, and B, that it was such a big event there. So fortunately, we're not in the middle of it. But 1 week prior, there's all kinds of stuff going on, which were fun. It made it a little more crowded, but you had a bunch of people running around in green, and there was like a 10K and all kinds of other events going on. So if you're going to March, you may want to double check when St. Patrick's Day is before you go, because it's a very large event in this area. And if you end up there on that weekend, which I guess it'd be hard to book without knowing that, you're not going to be able to get in anywhere. Like I've been to Mardi Gras, and it's supposed to be similar to that, where there's so many people that you really can't get in any restaurants or see much stuff, other than the events that are going on and really large crowds. On my left is where all the bridges that connect across from the Bay Street up above across to the buildings along river, and where all the really steep old historic stairs are. But if you go back there, if you get up on Bay Street on that level where the bridges are up top, there's lots of cool architecture and some neat parks. So if you're doing this walk and you go both directions, I'd recommend going on the Bay Street side on the way back, so you also get to see some of these cool buildings and stuff. A lot of scenic stuff for photos too, so definitely worth checking out back there. One thing we tended to forget about sometimes is you can carry your drinks pretty much anywhere. So if you're wrapping up in a restaurant, you don't have to finish off your beer or cocktail prior to leaving. You can just pay and get up and be on your way to your next stop, wherever it is you're going. And if you're out wandering around in the evenings, be aware of your surroundings. Tended to notice that homeless kind of congregate in the square areas. So if you're out having a good time and doing some drinking, we had no issues there, but there can be issues with crime. So I would just be aware of my surroundings, and I keep that in mind when you're out wandering around at night. This wraps up the commentary. The rest is pretty much just a walk.
Okay. Okay, bud. It's okay. Buddy. Fountains are off this morning.